linear equations, example 1. Alright, so we've got two questions here, questions A and B, that we're going to solve, and we're going to use these 4 steps. Alright, so if we look at question A, we've got 2x plus 1 equals 5. And the goal for solving equations is to figure out what x equals. Okay, and the way to do that is to get rid of all the numbers that are around the x. I want to get rid of the 2, and I want to get rid of the 1, because then it will, once I've done that, then it will say x equals. Alright, so I'm just going to rub this out. It's going to get in the way otherwise. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, first of all, I think what will be important is we talk about step 4. Because step 4 tells us the order of how you do things. You want to get rid of the 2 and the 1. Which one are you going to get rid of first? And SAMDIB stands for something. Something that we all know. SAMDIB stands for subtraction, addition, multiplication, division, indices, and brackets. Okay? Now, you probably won't see indices very often. But anyway, if you look at SAMDIB, it tells you that subtraction and addition are the very first things you're going to focus on. So we're going to focus on the addition. We're going to focus on the part that says adding 1. Okay, because you always do addition and subtraction first with this. Now, let's look at what step 1 says. Step 1 says perform the opposite operation and do it to both sides. So what is the opposite of adding 1? Well, the opposite of adding 1 is subtracting 1, and we must do it to both sides. So why do we do this? Whenever you see opposites, such as adding 1 and subtracting 1, they will actually cancel each other out, which is really handy, because now we're only left with 2x on the left, and 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay? Now, once again, so if we look at the order of SAMDIB, we've got subtraction and addition first, there's none of that left, and then we've got multiplication and division next. This, in case you've forgotten, is actually multiplication. That's 2 times x. So, now let's see what step 1 says. Perform the opposite operation, do it to both sides. What is the opposite of timesing by 2? Dividing by 2. Okay, which will cancel out the multiplication of 2. Now, then we can go, alright, well, because I got rid of the 2, I've got x left over, and 4 divided 2 is 2. And I've now solved my equation. Okay, let's look at question B. We'll follow the same steps. So, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to use SAMDIB, and we can see we've got subtraction, and we've got a division by 3, and SAMDIB says to do subtraction first. Okay, so we're going to focus on the subtracting of 2, the subtraction of 2. Step 1 says perform the opposite operation to both sides of the equation. Okay, so we're going to add 2 on both sides, which will cancel the 2. Right? That leaves us with y over 3 equals negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Now, I don't really want to get into how to add or subtract negative numbers. If you don't know, you'll have to just rely on your calculator at the moment. Okay, next. There's no addition and subtraction left. There is division though. Okay, so what is the opposite of dividing 3? It's timesing 3, which means we have to times the negative 1 by 3 as well, cancelling the 3. Y equals negative 1 times 3, which is negative 3. That one is now solved.